don't quite understand this hat. Doesn't it look like you just ran it up and then gave it right back? Well, we made it. Vlog number 2. Thanks to everyone who checked out the pilot episode of this vlog last week. A lot of kind words on YouTube, and a lot of people in agreement with the fact that I totally messed up that hand with the pocket queens, which I wholeheartedly admit to. Definitely a big misplay on my part. One person tried to point out that I tried to milk people in that hand, and he said,
"Milk was a bad choice."
By the way, you can never go wrong making an Anchorman reference to a news person, okay? Much like every poker player in the world loves the movie Rounders, every person in the news business loves the movie Anchorman. It just works out that way. And I know there's an exception here or there on both of those, but for the most part, that's always going to be the case. Anyway, so for vlog number 2, I'm particularly excited about this one because Run It Up Reno is back for its 6th time here at the Peppermill. And that started a couple of years ago when Jason Somerville was a big online streamer then. He no longer has been doing that lately, but we'll talk to him about that as to why. But he would get on his stream on PokerStars and he would promote the hell out of the Peppermill. So you'd get people from all over the country and all over the world, yes, I said that right, coming here to Reno, Nevada for a week-long series of tournaments. And that's what's happening again right now. So that's what you're gonna see a lot of in this vlog. I'm gonna play some hands in the cash games as well, but I had a chance to catch up with Jason Somerville as well as the Staples brothers, Matt and Jaime, about their prop bet against Bill Perkins, which was decided here at the Peppermill. So a lot to look forward to in vlog number 2. Let's get to it. Run It Up Reno moved to the upper ballroom here at the Peppermill this year. This is actually the event that's happening at noon on a Tuesday. So not something you typically see in Reno, Nevada, this kind of turnout at that time, but the popularity of Run It Up Reno is certainly a big reason why, obviously. I had a chance to do some interviews, talked with Jason Somerville, the star of this show. He's always great. And then I talked with the Staples brothers after their win and their prop bet against Bill Perkins for $150,000.
Back maybe at this point 5 years ago, I started streaming poker on Twitch. And as someone who had always watched Twitch, which is traditionally a video game site, to me I always thought that would be a great platform to watch someone play poker. And for me, I used it as kind of like a poker tour guide role where I was like, okay, watch me play and I'll talk you through my decisions. And that just becomes so amazing to see the cards, hear someone talk you through what they're doing, and it's just very compelling things to watch. And you can see the rise and fall of tournaments and sessions and feel the pain and the emotion, and you're invested into what's going on. It's a very unique thing to watch on Twitch.
And tell me some of the biggest names besides you that have come out to this event this year.
Yeah, we've got all the best poker streamers on Twitch. We've got Lex Veldhouse, we've got Jaime Staples, Kevin Martin, we've got Jeff Gross, all of these international superstars really of poker that are here, all in Reno, all doing amazing content, all doing cool things. You know, plus we've got a bunch of Survivor personalities. We've got Rob Cesternino, we've got Tyson Apostle, former champion. It's an amazing group of people that all just come here to have fun and play poker at Peppermill.
And what's the deal with regarding you and streaming? Obviously, we're not seeing as much as we did. What's happening there?
That's true. I moved back to Vegas. I just kind of settled in roots and just, I've kind of had to change a little bit of what I wanted to, spend my time doing for this last year. But I still plan on doing live content, but for now I've been working on some more stuff behind the scenes and making these kind of events even bigger.
How did this first come about, the idea of having this challenge?
So we're doing a project called Streamboat. We were down in the Virgin Islands with our good poker friend Bill Perkins, very successful guy, energy trader, and we were doing a live stream on his back patio, and someone suggested, how crazy would it be if I could get to the same weight as Matt? At this point, we are 304 pounds and 135 pounds. So Bill, being a guy that loves action, he said, I'll give you 50 to 1. We asked him how much we could book. $3,000 was the limit, and all of a sudden we had a bet, $3,000 to win $150,000.
Good. Jaime Staples, 188.3.
Let's go! Let's go, buddy! On the number, man! On the number! Exactly this way.
Did it. Did it. Wow, that was so intense. Dude, what the hell? That was so intense.
You obviously wanted to lose weight at the time. Matt, you may not have wanted to gain weight. What was your reaction to this?
I mean, I was definitely a smaller guy, so there was some room for me to put on some muscle and some size. I was definitely shocked at the beginning of the bet, but I mean, I'd say the first 3 months, 6 months of the bet were pretty fun for me, actually, just being able to put on muscle and size. But definitely towards the end of the bet, it got a little bit harder, a little bit difficult.
So what was the biggest key, Jamie, to actually making this happen and then losing this weight? I mean, obviously diet and exercise, but what will you remember the most about what you did to make it happen?
Absolutely. So, I mean, it was a huge task to undertake. I knew immediately that I wanted to reach out to an expert, someone that really knew what they were doing, because I knew I had to learn some good habits. So I met a trainer named Mike Viconti, who makes content on YouTube, and I started talking with him. And I learned about macronutrients and how I could live within a day and feel full, but still be in a calorie deficit. So it's been going through that process, working with Mike, that has got me to where I am today.
With regards to this bet that the Staples brothers are involved in, it's getting so much hype as we're seeing today. What's been your experience with that? I mean, how wild has it been to see the attention these guys got?
I mean, it's absolutely incredible. I remember hearing about it and being like, okay, that's cool, and then the hype is just built. You have to give them credit. Jaime and Matt and their whole team has just made this an amazing journey captured for the fans. With all of the YouTube content, the Twitch content they've put out to just make the hype around this. Like, they built this. Not only did they earn what they've won and put in so much time and effort, the transformation for both of them is absolutely incredible, but they did all that while doing all this crazy content around it and making everyone so invested. And you can see how well that did in the numbers on the programs, that when they were streaming and when they were putting these videos out. So it's done amazing things for both their lives and their brands.
I also had a chance to talk with Mike Nelson, the manager of the Peppermill Poker Room, a former pro in his own right and one of the nicest guys you'll find in poker, and he talked about the phenomenon that is Run It Up Reno.
It's an atmosphere that Jason from Run It Up, us from the Peppermill, try to foster in the poker community, which is have a great time. There's $500,000 in prize money that get paid out in this event, but it's more about the experience. People coming to Reno, people staying at the property, Run It Up warriors, and the locals all combining. I get more feedback from local players about how much they like this event, and it's people-oriented. It really is a nice group of people. We've had them from Australia, from Europe, from Asia. We had an African visitor. It's all over the world. This is become a worldwide event, and it comes right here to the Peppermill in Reno. So that's the thing we take probably the most pride in, is that every time we bring more people from around the world, and we want to be exposed to our community, and they like it. We don't have the old school feel or old school branding. It's all new. It's like a summer camp. We have two big parties, a spring and a fall poker party, and if this keeps growing, we'll have to add additional events, which we're okay with, by the way.
This event that you see here is happening at Tuesday at noon. Not exactly something in Reno, Nevada that you usually see a big turnout for, but that is the case here. By the way, last week I mentioned that I was covering the Nevada Wolfpack going to the Sweet 16. For those who don't know, Reno, Nevada is home to the University of Nevada. It's not as big as the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, but it is much older, so therefore it gets the title University of Nevada. And they're mid-major. They've always been a decent team in both basketball and football. But this was the best chance they have ever had at making the Final Four. And unfortunately, it's easy to say the best chance they ever will have. And it was absolutely ridiculous what happened. And I gotta be honest, I cannot get over it. All right, those of you that aren't sports fans don't understand. And I have no problem with you not being a sports fan. In fact, I'm a little jealous of those of you who are not sports fans. But for those of you like me who are longtime hardcore sports fans, then you understand the pain that I'm talking about here. The Nevada Wolfpack managed to get to the Sweet 16 by having an amazing comeback over Cincinnati. They then were fortunate enough to be playing in the bracket that for the first time in the history of the NCAA tournament had its top 4 seeds all knocked out going into the Sweet 16. And they drew an 11 seed going into the Sweet 16 as a 7 seed. And this team is not better than them, Loyola Chicago. But yet, the Wolfpack chose this game to not play any defense in the paint at all. And they allowed Loyola to go for over 45 points in the paint. It's just so incredibly disheartening as a fan. So anyway, I won't waste any more time on that, and I'm struggling to get over it, as I said. However, it's kind of ironic, because right now I'm actually, of all places, going to the gym to shoot some baskets. To anchor the first half hour of the show today. Always a good thing if you're a reporter to get anchor time. Most reporters want to eventually get to anchor. I know I'm in that boat. Not sure if it's ever going to happen for me or not, but opportunities like these I don't want to miss. As a person of interest in police search warrants following the Las Vegas mass shooting in October, says he had absolutely nothing to do with the massacre. So I'm here on the roof of the El Dorado parking garage. I know a lot of vloggers like to go on top of casino parking garages. I've been doing that for live shots for the last several years, and I'm here for the segment that we do every Thursday called 8 Things to Do. Obviously, we're Colo 8 News now, so we find 8 different things going on around town every single week to talk about. Had a chance to anchor the first half hour of the show, now out for a couple of live shots. But I did have a hand that I wanted to talk about from a recent 5-10 game that I played at the Peppermill. This is the hand where the player under the gun opens to 50, and I am to his immediate left under the gun +1 with ace-8 of spades. Now this is definitely a hand you could lay down here, but I had not played a hand in quite some time, had been very card dead. So I decided to make this call and to see what ultimately developed. The blinds fold and the flop comes out quite favorable for me. 8-8-9 rainbow. This hand immediately gets weird because the under the gun player does not make a c-bet. So in this spot, I'm thinking that he's either extremely weak and is preparing to just give up here, or for some reason he's trying to slow play something. I decided to check it back, hoping to get a bet out of him on the turn. The turn comes the 10 of spades, which completes the rainbow. There are no flush draws on this board. He goes ahead and bets out 50 into a pot of 115. So I get the bet out of him that I'm looking for, and now I'm looking to go for value, but I don't want to raise too much, risk betting him out of this hand with a decent amount of small pairs that he might have here, so I make it 125. He doesn't really take too long with it, and he makes the call. The river comes the 9 of clubs for a board of 9, 9, 8, 8, 10. So if he did for some reason have a 9 on the flop, now I'm in trouble. However, he goes ahead and checks. So I'm obviously going to bet here. I'm looking to get paid off by obviously a 10, but even a hand like pocket sixes, I think there's a decent chance he might be able to call me with. So I make a bet of $150. Then something really interesting happens, and he makes it 400. Now this was definitely not something I was shocked to see. This is a very aggressive opponent that I'm dealing with here, so he's capable of making a lot of moves here, but he's also capable of having a 9. However, I just don't think that I can fold here too often, and I don't really see a point in re-raising either, because chances are he's either bluffing or he has me beat. So I think about it for a minute just to consider those options. I ultimately decide to make the call, and he says, good call. He shows me 7-5 for a gut shot straight draw that missed. So we take down a pretty nice sized pot there.